think back to the 80s. So what were you doing in the 80s, Irene?
Going to the disco.
Okay. Okay, Susan, how about you?
I was suffering under gigantic interest rate on my first house.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, how about you, Dan?
Oh, I was working for the government at the time.
Okay, all right. And I'll just stick in. I was a working mom, and I'll tell you, I mean, I lived through the 80s, but for me to become a docent here, I had to go back and learn the 80s. And every time I come here, I learn something more about the 80s. I never connected it because I had such a busy life between working and 2 small children and just trying to make ends meet. Yes, now go back. So now we're stepping into the 80s. All right, and for students or for adults, this is what people were thinking, and you can use some of these. Well, our taxes keep rising, can I find a job, and so forth. Now, I will tell you, and this has happened. All right, this game, I'm just going to give you a heads up. My daughter was a teacher at Royal High School here, and she brought her class, and we had quite a problem with the game. All right, so I would avoid the game.
I can't do it.
Yeah, the kids they just went there.
And I think this is a really important. If you don't have time to do this homeroom, just have them read this about what President Reagan did. 96 straight months of. And then you can talk a little bit about the Statue of Liberty. That's actually a little. It was redone in 1986, and that's actually put together from pieces left over from when they did the Statue of Liberty. Space Shuttle Challenger, of course.
Pieces left over.
Well,
It was debris. They power washed it basically,
Yeah.
and the debris that came off,
Yeah.
they created.
they created that. Space Shuttle Challenger. The kids, I like to show them and then Patco. They don't understand about
I
Patco.
do talk about this.
The Supreme Court justice.
I talk about all of this. So students, come with me. And this is really good for us. All right. So you're going to have this game going ding, ding, ding. You're going to have the video going on. You're going to have all the groups. Kathy just showed you a great way to do it, and that's to stand and just kind of talk about these things. But if you have a chance, if you want to talk about what are some of the things that Ronald Reagan accomplished, this is it. You know, just some really small things. Supreme Court, I think, you know, just, and if the students don't know, just talk about judges and so forth. But it was the first woman was appointed. Patco I like to talk about, and I'll tell you why. Ronald Reagan has just become president. They don't know who he is. The air traffic controllers, and kids will get it. They know what it is. They're the people who tell the pilot whether it's safe to come in or not. Think how important that is. That's the air traffic controllers. They said, give us more money or we're going to strike. And you're going to take a look at that picture of President Reagan's face.
And he gave the speech, and his particular concern was the children. So when you listen to this entire speech online,
Okay, right here. This says it all. All right, look at the date. August 3rd, 1981. He had just become president. I will tell the students this is perhaps the angriest that I've ever seen Ronald Reagan in a portrait. And when he said it's safety first, the students will get this. If you go on strike, you're going to be fired. They went on strike, and he fired them. Right there, he said, I'm your leader. Okay, and America's safety comes first, not your wages. Even though he had been a union president. So this is a big deal for me. Okay, I don't know, you probably don't want to spend much time on this. If you have adults, maybe. I think what's interesting about this election in 1984 is the blue and the red. When did we switch? Okay, when did we switch? Blue. Now this is all Republican. Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, and then of course, and Kathy just said so well. Right here, you can ask adults again. You're looking at ways to connect. If their children ask the teachers, they will remember, even if they're young. Do you remember watching this in school on television? I can't tell you how many young teachers I have said will never forget.